What up guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little bit, but we're gonna get right back into it. This video is solely gonna be about my Toyota Mark II Tour V that I recently imported from Japan. My boy Anthony Midori got it for me. Dude is an all-around GOAT for everything he did. The whole part of the process was amazing. Gave me everything from the vessel number to photos from under the car, in and out of the car, engine bay. It's a low mileage car. I think it only has 37,000 kilometers. I'm gonna show you guys some things that I love about it and some things that I don't love about it and I wanna address. I'm gonna show you guys some of the first mods I wanna do. And we're probably gonna get at least some wheels on and maybe some minor cosmetic stuff. It's gonna be a pretty fun video. I appreciate you guys and thank you for being here. Here we have it, my 1997 Toyota Mark II Tour V. It is a two-tone car, which I absolutely love. This paint code is called 2CF. There are about 1,400 of these cars made in this specific paint code, and only about 10,500 of these cars made ever, only in Japan. So this thing is fairly fresh off the boat. I received the car at Riverside, which was really dope. Super fun event in Chattanooga, Tennessee. My boy Anthony brought it from Florida. The car came through Jacksonville Port. Anthony brought it from Florida to Chattanooga. Then my boy Bobby Dolly Logistics, brought it from Chattanooga here by me in Michigan. Big thank you to both of those dudes for getting this car in my hands. It's been quite the experience so far. I haven't driven it too much. There's a couple things I need to address. It needs an alignment really bad. The intake filter, it had a HKS mushroom intake on it and it's deteriorating, typical for these. But I do have some parts off the chaser that I'm gonna throw on it. So one thing that's cool about owning two JZX100s is that all of the parts off my Chaser's 1J will fit on this car. The suspension's the same, the interior is the same even, which is super dope because some interior pieces on this car actually are in better condition than some of the ones on the Chaser. So I might actually switch those out and have the Chaser be my pretty car and the Mark II be a little bit more tame of a street car. And that's pretty much the big goal of the whole picture. It's just to make a really fun street car that gets down. So we'll get right into it on the cosmetic sides of things. These headlight covers are super tarnished and worn, like the clear's peeling on it. I do have new ones from my homies in Australia. They reproduce these. I'll get their info, I'll show you the new parts, and I'll drop that down in the description. I don't have a new grill for it yet. I'm trying to source one. I want like a GX100 grill. It's like fully chrome. They're super sick. But the kit is a factory kit from my understanding. And it's just a lip kit. The paint match is a little off. But I do think my boy Danny's gonna help me paint that. And we'll get the color matching a little bit better. We might repaint the whole bottom half of the two-tone. I do have new corner lights as well for it. I'll pull those out of the basement here in a moment and show you guys those. The pearl in the car is pretty awesome actually. Try to get this polarizer to shift here. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a super fun car so far. Oh. What do I do? The car definitely needs brakes and rotors, which I need to get those ordered pretty much right away. It came on stock wheels, which is kind of cool. I kind of like them. It does have Cusco coilovers, Cusco front and rear sway bars. It does have a two-way differential, which is super dope. I drove it in the rain the other day and it was pretty fun to get the bald stock tires to kick out. Pretty easy, felt good. It has an exhaust system, actually has a factory downpipe. I did figure that out by looking down into the engine bay. There's a couple blemishes on the paint here. There's one right here, some oxidation that I don't love, but I'm hoping Danny can blend this in. The car has Cusco coilovers, which I'm super excited about. I'm just gonna put some wheels on it and drop it down. It does have new bushings in the rear, which is super awesome. It feels good. We got under the car and checked those out the other day, which is super dope. And I have these beautiful OG white TEs that will be going on the car. These are stamped dating back to 2006 and a half, I believe. And the white is definitely going to be off a little bit here, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I do believe these are the only wheels that I have currently that will fit it without doing upper arms. So eventually I'm hoping to link up with the Serial 9 boys, have them lace me up with some upper control arms for the front and rear, maybe some other bits as well. And then we should hopefully be able to run all the wheels that are fitted to the Chaser and the RX-7. Typically 18 by 9.5 plus 22 is great fitment for these Mark IIs, whereas the Chaser, you can pull off plus 12s pretty easily. The RX-7, you can go a little more aggressive, but same with that. These TEs actually were on the RX-7 at Riverside last year. So you guys may have seen them from my Instagram content there, but this year they'll be on the Mark II. And then I have some work OG, I call them OG, they're old wheels, they're discontinued. They're XC8s, so I'll put those eventually on the Mark II, but I wanna get them chromed first. There's no place like chrome, so that's the goal there. I'm gonna ship those out to California. They'll eventually go to Mexico and get chromed because there's a lot less 3-letter organizations down over there. You can probably see right here, the side skirt, how it's, I don't know if it's rattle canned in Japan, but it's not kosher. I don't really care too much right now. We'll definitely address it eventually. This trim piece is coming so this is actually chrome and it's 3/8 inch. So I have this on the way from Japan. So I'll get that cleaned up. There is a couple of defects around here, like on the kit, which hopefully we can get that fixed up as well. Definitely some small things that kind of to be expected with a 26-year-old car. And some really awesome things as well. It does have the S2 taillights, the S2 trunk, which is a huge plus. I don't have to source either of those. One thing that I don't like about the car is it does have a factory steering wheel. That will probably be one of the first mods that I do today, just because it's hard to kind of fit under the steering wheel. So we'll definitely get that addressed pretty quickly. The car does have a twin disc clutch in it, which is super dope that it came with it. It bites kind of hard, but I've kind of gotten used to it in the short time that I've driven it. It has all the Tourer V interior, which is super dope. It has Defi gauges, which I am not mad about at all. I'm not sure if it's a drift car or not. Here's the HKS electronics controller. It has the air purifier from factory, which is a really rare option. This is for the Defi gauges down here. Try to get a better view of both of those. So yeah, there's the air purifier above the Defi gauge controller. And the interior overall is in mint condition, I would say. I don't think I found any scratches at all. It does have the kind of OG green Tourer V floor mats. Not my favorite styling, but they're here, they're in the car, it's cool. I have some that I'll be replacing it with today. These pedals are actually really slick when your feet get wet. I'm gonna switch these out one way or another. It's obviously a manual transmission. It was an automatic transmission originally. TRD cluster, I don't know if you can see it. And I have no idea what this is for. I thought it was for the fans potentially, but it's not. I'll pop the hood here. Under the hood, you'll see it is a fairly stock 1J. It did come with this awesome sock and the HKS. I think this is an HKS intake, from my understanding, from the looks of it. It's got the mushroom that's deteriorating in there. So this is going to get replaced today, right away. It does have a front mount intercooler kit, which is super dope. Other than that, it's fairly stock. Here's the Cusco strut tower bar. I believe, what's this? It says HKS on here. So this must be the power to the HKS electronics piece in the interior. And what's cool is I do have some valve covers and a top cover plate from the 1J that was in the Chaser. So I'll swap those out. It did get a new battery when it was in Japan before it got shipped over. It does have a Greddy radiator, which is super awesome. The car fires right up every time. I think these alpha horns are pretty sick. The horn's kind of loud from those. Right when you start the car, the clutch kind of does like this samurai sword noise that's super dope. Try to get it fired here for you guys to hear it. The cool thing about JDM cars is you don't have to put your foot on the clutch. You can just put the key in and start it. Yeah. We will call that the introduction of the car. I want to show you guys some parts real quick before we start installing them. My boys at Fitman Auto, Jordan, he's the man, he's in Australia, got me these mats. They're checkered floor mats. I actually like them so much, I kind of want to put them in the Chaser. I have his mats in my Chaser right now that are black, but these ones are checkered. Super dope. Beautiful floor mats. He makes them for a bunch of other chassis if you guys want to check them out. This is the floor mats. Pretty dope, kind of street style checkered, OG looking. We're gonna throw this on, the Apexy intake. I'm gonna throw this on first. It held its polish pretty well from when it was on the Chaser. My boy Jacob sent me this cluster here. It's a manual cluster. I'm not sure if it's authentic or not. He sent it from Japan. He's over there stationed. And it covers like the parking, drive, reverse signals here. So it does kind of make it look a little bit more legit. And I do believe my TRD cluster will still be exposed through here. I think the TRD logo is right here in the gauge. So that'll be dope. JZX Parts from Australia sent me these lenses. They're fire. They're gonna kind of freshen up the front of the car, which I'm super stoked about. My boy Jacob also sent me these fender lights, which are swapped to LED bulbs. You'll see right here is glued. So these are actually brighter than the factory ones. Those will be a dope little aesthetic mod. TF Works sent me the quick release hub. I'm throwing the steering wheel on right away. This will probably be the second mod that I do, just because of the simple fact that it is very difficult to get into the car in and out of it. The steering wheel on these cars are just like, didn't really seem like they are made for people that are 6 foot, 6'2" or whatever. So yeah, big up to all these guys that got me these parts. TF Works, JZX Parts, Australia. Street Mythology makes these awesome emblems. This is going on the Chaser. Super dope people over there. My boy Jacob, thank you. Fitment Works, Jordan, you're the man. I'm gonna put all their contact links down in the description, whether it's their IG or website. I'm gonna try to do it all, just in case you guys are interested in any of this stuff. All right, I got it out and you can see, hopefully, how much of this has deteriorated. Some of it like even fell out as I was pulling the part out. That's what sucks about these HKS mushrooms. They just are known and prone to do this over time. So this wasn't filtering anything at all. Dope thing is I have a new mass airflow sensor and this Apexy intake for it. All right, I got the old HKS filter off and the new Apexy one on. Even looks a little bit better. The polish, I could probably polish this up, and I have some other parts off the Chaser I could probably add in right here for a little bit better look. I kind of like how stock the 1J looks though. The intake is on. It went smooth, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Next, I should probably do the quick release just because it's bugging me. The stock steering wheel is rather large. First things first, I'm gonna remove the factory steering wheel. I believe this is my starting point here. It looks like a T30 or T25 torque. There's one on the other side as well. The Chaser actually came with a works bell hub already on it, whereas this car is obviously factory. So I haven't done this before, but I'm pretty sure this looks like a good starting point here. All right, I got the two T25 torque bolts out. There were some retaining clips here, some plastic retaining clips inside the hole here that I kind of had to push back. I use these really small pliers to get the bolts out. It worked just fine, and you can tell the front of the steering wheel is loose or almost completely off now. We're gonna loosen this bolt next, but not all the way, so we can force the factory wheel off and unplug this airbag sensor. Boom, factory wheels off. Pretty easy. Onto the works bell hub. So it came with a resistor and this adapter, I think, for the horn. Yeah, this looks like the horn piece here. So we'll get these fired up. Oh, the cool thing, works bell also includes steering wheel screws for your steering wheel, which is love. The works bell hub is on, and I used the resistor that it came with. We'll see if it works. The directions were in Japanese, so I just kind of guessed on which wire goes into what. If it doesn't work, I will just pull the airbag light on the dash. I'm not too worried about it, and I'll put this cover on and pick out a steering wheel from the garage and we'll be Gucci. I have this Vertex wheel that my boy Nick gave me. Certainly used, but it's pretty sick. And then I have this 326 power wheel. I think this wheel has a horn with it. I ran it on the RX-7 just like for a little while here. Some of you may remember it. Most of you probably not. It's straight. It looks kind of cool actually. I would say the quality is a little less quality compared to the Vertex wheels. I don't know who manufactures these 326 power wheels in Japan. They're okay though. I could not find my 326 power horn button. It's probably like in another cabinet or whatever, but I did find this G Corporation one, which is one of my favorite brands from the 90s. This thing has some sentimental value. I ran it on the RX-7 for like 3 or 4 years, and then I think I eventually switched it to the Blitz horn button. But yeah, we'll throw this one in with the 326 power wheel. Be kind of cool to run for a little bit. I ended up putting one screw in here, and I actually like this wheel more than I thought I would. There's a lot going on with it. I kind of wanted this car to be a little bit more simple, like just like kind of a plain Nardi wheel, something kind of tasteful. Not that this isn't tasteful, but it's a little loud, but it kind of works with everything. So yeah, I'll throw the rest of the bolts in here and we'll get the horn button in and should be good to go. There we have it, the G Corporation horn button with the 326 power steering wheel, works bell hub. Pretty straightforward and easy project, if you may. Super happy with how it turned out. Beautiful weather today. Tomorrow's gonna be just as awesome. So I'm gonna continue this video over to then. We'll get some more parts on it. Hopefully the wheels lower the Cusco coilovers. That'll be a super fun one. I will see you guys soon.